I'm Joel Tolliver. I'm St. John Divine's representative for Episcopal Relief and Development. And as I'm sure you know by now, the first Sunday in Lent today is traditionally designating Episcopal Relief and Development Sunday. And on this day we have a program or a speaker, which we have today, that reminds us of the wonderful work of Episcopal Relief and Development throughout the world and of our Christian obligation to help those in need. We also ask for donations to assist in their work. Our speaker this morning is the Episcopal Relief and Development representative for the northern half of the Diocese of Southwest Florida. She's also a professional storyteller, and she'll be with us in a couple of weeks on March 23rd for a potluck dinner and show which will benefit Episcopal Relief and Development. Today's open plate offering is designated for Episcopal Relief and Development. Checks may be written to St. John Divine with Episcopal Relief and Development, or ERD, on the memo line, and offering envelopes may be found in your bulletins if you want to make a direct or future offering. Please welcome Ms. Maureen Below.
Good morning. Thank you for that warm welcome. But I want to say a special thank you, and I apologize, I should have done this at all the services. I want to point out what a wonderful parishioner you have in Joel and Brooke, the two of them. They have hosted me at their home. We've had a marvelous time, and he is, don't tell everybody else, but he's my favorite parish coordinator because he does everything that we ask him to do. I'm sure you had the Gifts for Life catalogs at Christmas, which, by the way, are good all year long. And he's made a nice display and showing you the Lenten meditation booklets as well. But more important than those welcomes is the welcome that I hope that you will extend to the message that I have to give to you this morning. It was one of those hectic nights between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Everybody had a sale, and I am a shopper. So it so happened that Body and Bath had those 3-wick candles at a really, really good price. So my husband is mobility challenged. I left him off at BJ's warehouse. I just joined that one. No, at BJ's brew house and told him what I wanted to order. And then I hurried as best I could down to the far end of the mall to Body and Bath and was able to pick out 6 lovely, fragrant candles. I came back as well as I could in hopes that the food hadn't arrived, and it hadn't. I sat down and I was telling about what I bought and showing them the candles. And a man who had been sitting behind my husband got up and he turned and he wished us a Merry Christmas. Well, of course, I wished him a Merry Christmas back. Well, we finished our meal and the server came to us and asked if we wanted dessert. And we said, no, thank you, we were fine. She said, well, your meal has been paid for. What? How did that, well, your meal's paid for. Well, who, how, what? It turns out that man who wished us Merry Christmas had paid for our supper. I never saw him again. I couldn't remember what he looked like, and I certainly couldn't say thank you. But his nice deed has impacted my life. I have to say that I, too, have been trying to pay forward my blessings. And so today I'm going to ask you how you can pay forward your blessings. Maybe you've already done this in some small way. Who goes over the Sunshine Bridge? And have you ever paid for the toll for the person behind you? Now, I used to do this fairly regularly until I got my sun pass, but can't really do that. But there's a wonderful commercial out right now. If you haven't seen it, be sure next time you see the commercial for McDonald's, it's a man orders a cup of coffee and 4 orders of the new donut sticks. So when the gal brings him the donuts, she says, you must really love the donuts. He says, oh, I do, but they're not for me. He says, they're for the car behind me, but I will take the coffee. So he takes the coffee, and then the camera switches over to the car behind him, driven by a very a bewildered man who's got 3 girls singing and carrying on in the back seat. Now, of course, when they get the donuts, they quiet it down. So, today, in the first lesson, and I'm going to read only part of it, we heard this. The Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. With a terrifying display of power and with signs and wonders, he brought us into this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. So now I bring the first of the fruit of the ground that you, O Lord, have given me. You shall set it down before the Lord your God and bow down before the Lord your God. Then you, together with the Levites and the aliens who reside among you, shall celebrate with all the bounty that the Lord your God has given to you and to your house. And you at St. John the Divine have indeed shared bountifully. And I know you do many outreach ministries, but just to Episcopal Relief and Development alone, you jointly gave $1,755.25 to Episcopal Relief and Development. Now that amount, if you remember your Gifts for Life catalog, there is one in particular that spoke to me. It was a gift to help children and mothers and villages actually to become nurturing. So it was $15, and I personally chose 10 people in my circle that I felt were living the Christ life and gave them that gift. That amount at $15 a piece, for example, it could have provided for 117 gifts for lives that provide parent-caregiver support, learning groups that provide behaviors like healthy eating and family play to help kids develop cognitive, language, social, emotional, and motor skills. Now, I know that's quite a mouthful, but it is a very important one. This is my little, you can all see that there's going to be something. There it is. It's hard because I can't see it. At our last network meeting for Episcopal Relief and Development coordinators, we were shown a very disturbing photo, the one that you see here. It shows 2 brain scans of 3-year-old children. One is a child with stunted brain development, and the other is a healthy, cared-for child. Nutrition, physical nutrition is important, but so is the emotional nutrition. The right nutrition during the first 1,000 days of life builds a child's brain and fuels their growth, improve a child's school readiness and educational achievement, reduces disparities in health, education, and earning potential. Given proper nutrition and social parental care in the first 6 years has an impact that helps individuals reach their full potential and is a good predictor of success in all areas of life. Strong individuals can make a village as well as a country more prosperous socially and financially. It's working, isn't it? Episcopal Relief and Development has 3 primary focus areas: women, children, and climate. Within these 3 areas, we are able to help with growth in developing countries with agriculture, health, and economics, as well as responding to disasters worldwide. And you can choose any variety of ways to pay forward your blessings, not unlike the way that loving gentleman did when he bought our dinner. You may not see the recipient. You will definitely not get a thank you note, but you will change a life or several lives, and most likely they will send their blessing forward as well. When you give to Episcopal Relief and Development, you can rest assured that you are giving to a responsible Episcopal ministry that uses historically 90% or more of its income to work together for lasting change in the world. And it has a 4-star charitynavigator.com rating. Now, I'm going to digress. This is a great website to go to when you are going to give to any organization. Check their rating. And 4 stars is the maximum. And I'm very pleased to say that you know that you're doing well. There was once a holy man in India, and he was traveling through the mountains, and the sun was bright, and so he cast his eyes down, not only because of the sun, but also to keep his eye on the terrain. He didn't want to dash his foot against a stone. Well, as the sun bore down, something caught his eye. Something was gleaming. And he looked at it, and it was a ruby, and it was a good-sized ruby. But it was beautiful. Well, he just casually picked it up and put it in his pack. Now, as he was praying in preparation for a meager meal, another stranger came up to him and asked if he might have some bread or something to eat. And of course, without thinking, the holy man pulled out the bread. But when he did so, the stone fell out onto the ground. Now, this traveler, when he saw that stone, was taken aback. He was in awe. Wow, that was something, a ruby, and a big one. And he said, that is something, what a treasure you have. Well, without thinking any further, the holy man picked up that stone and gave it to him. Just gave it to him. Well, the man at first was speechless, but then he was, of course, effusively gracious. And thank you so much. This will make such a difference in my life. Oh, this is marvelous. And after they had eaten, he took off and he went. But a couple of days later, he came back through the mountains searching for that same man. And he had the ruby with him. And he held it out. And he said, this ruby certainly could change my life. But I want to give it to you for something more valuable. The holy man was a little confused. He says, no, you don't understand. I want to give you the ruby back in exchange for you telling me what it is in you that enabled you to give me that ruby. We all know and revere the late Mother Teresa of Calcutta. And I want to share something that was found on the wall of the room where she lived. People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten, but do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough, because it was never really between you and them anyway. In the final analysis, it was between you and God. So again, I ask you, how will you choose to pay forward your blessings?